I'm not going to die in the wilderness. I'm not going to die in the darkness. I'm not going to die in my sin. I'm going to continue in the Word of God. I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm not going to let obstacles stop me. I'm not going to let sickness stop me. I'm not going to let people stop me. I'm going to be where God called me to be, doing what God called me to do. Because why? Like, sis, I want to make it in. Here's the thing. Would you rather die and not try Jesus, or try Jesus and die? That would be my answer. I'm not going to let nobody convince me that God ain't real. You know why? You know why, sis? Because he done too much for me. He done too much for me to have somebody come and tell me God ain't real. Jesus ain't real. See, because I had a life before Jesus. And I have a life after Jesus. So here's the point. My life is better with Jesus than it was without Jesus. So now how you gonna convince me? I was looking today, I had to, it's on this phone. But if you look it up. I had a situation when I went down to North Carolina in 2011 or 10, and I'm telling this doctor, before I left, I said, Doc, I feel like I got a hernia. Doctor checked me out and said, oh no, you ain't got no hernia. So I'm driving down to North Carolina, and all of a sudden I got all this pain. So I had to pull over, get a hotel room, stayed in the hotel that night until I felt better, drove to North Carolina, stayed there longer than I should have, got back, went to the doctor. Say, hey, doc, something ain't right. I think I got a hernia. Okay, we're gonna send you for a CT scan. So now, I go to the CT scan, and you know what they tell me? You ain't got one hernia, you got two. And on top of that, you have this thing in the side of you that if we don't get it out, it's gonna bust, and you're gonna have gangrene, cancer in your stomach. I said, well, you don't say. So, but now they got the CT CAT saying, I get home, immediately they call me. Hey, you gotta get back up here, because we gotta set you up for immediate surgery. I said, what you talking about? You got two hernias, but that's not the real problem. You got this thing, I looked it up today, it's PMP. It's called jelly belly. I can't pronounce the name, I ain't no doctor, but it was bad. And it's undetectable until it busts. Y'all ain't hearing me. It's undetectable until it busts. And then when it busts, it's too late. It's too late. So in most cases of that, you got 5 years before you die. Right? So now, I'm just trying to show you God. See, I'm thinking I got one thing, but God was using that one thing to show me what the real issue was. So I get up there, and he explained to me what it was, and I'm shook. I'm like, man, when you getting this thing out of me then? Because if it busts, he said, we got to get it out before it busts. Because if it busts, gangrene is going to be spread. You might have 5 years to live. I said, well, when you getting it out today? Right now? He said, we got you. So like 4 days later, I'm up for surgery. Now, they could only fix one hernia at a time. But they wanted to get that thing out of me. So, when they got it out, it was the size of a sausage. You found out what it was? It's a sausage. They had to go in there and they had to encase it in a bag so that it wouldn't bust. Then they had to pull it out. Got it out. Then they had to test it to see if it was cancerous. But it wasn't cancerous. That's what I said, thank God, that they got it out and it wasn't cancerous. I might not be standing here today. Then they went and took care of the hernias. So I had 3 surgeries when this woman was telling me, ain't nothing wrong with you. That's why I'm saying when you go to the doctors, don't just take no. If you feel something ain't right with you, you better keep bugging them jokers. Keep bugging them. But it was God who was showing me what was on the inside of me that nobody else knew but God. Now you gonna tell me not to believe in God? Not to believe that Jesus is real? I got too many testimonies about what God has done for me to turn around and tell somebody, oh, he ain't real, or to buy into somebody else's lie. I don't care what nobody say. Here's what I'm gonna do. Continue in his word. Sunday's word, I'm gonna keep on pressing forward. I'm gonna press forward, right? Pressing forward. I'm not gonna die in the wilderness.